It is May 9th, 2024. And let me tell you, it's been a wild ride this morning, and I wish it wasn't the case. It's really not that wild, it's just more microphone stuff. I figured it out. I finally figured out all of my audio nonsense. I want to just say it out loud because I've been absolutely losing my mind. Let me give you the rundown. So, and I'm gonna go crazy if I listen to this after and it sounds all garbled still. Hear me out. So, microphones usually have might not be able to see, but there's like an XLR cable, and an XLR cable does not plug into a computer. Surprise, right? So XLR, I need to be able to go to USB at some point so I can connect it to my computer. Not a big shocker there. So if we back up a little bit, last year I was using a microphone that was it had a preamp built into it. I can't remember the model, whatever. Not a terrible mic, kind of cheap, but like it was working. But what was happening at some point when I was started making courses is that the volume, something happened in Windows and the volume of my microphone was basically stuck at like ridiculously low, and there was nothing I could do to get the volume back up. It was just bricked. I tried everything. Can't get the volume back. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go buy a preamp. And I spent money on a Focusrite Scarlett Solo, I think is what it was. And this worked. The volume was up. The audio was crystal clear. But this funny thing started happening, and it would be periodically, out of nowhere, nothing would change, but periodically I was getting just distortion. And I have talked about this in my other videos, it's not news, but this distortion, at least with the Scarlett box, would happen at intervals. Like every 15 to 30 seconds, you'd hear like a robotic underwater kind of sound in my voice. And I didn't know what to do. So I could restart my computer. That seemed to fix it sometimes. I found a script online for resetting your audio services that sometimes seemed to fix it. But I still had periods where, when I was making Dome Train courses, I would lose entire weekends of recording. Entire weekends. I've lost guaranteed over 24 hours worth of material just from this nonsense. So I spent about $700-ish on a new microphone setup. I got rid of the Scarlett Solo box because I said, screw this thing. I can't deal with this inconsistency. And this mic setup has been awesome. Except I started realizing I'm having the same problem. It sounds a little different, but I'm having the same problem. And I'm going, oh no, we're not doing this again. So all of the tricks that used to kind of seem to work don't kind of seem to work all the time here. And I've discovered what the problem is. Because it has nothing to do with the microphone. It has nothing to do with the Scarlett box. Because those are different now. I don't have the Scarlett box. I'm using this microphone this is a Shure microphone, goes into a Shure preamp. It's all Shure, so it's like same model. I'm like, the only things that are consistent, I even switched from Streamlabs to OBS to have more control. The only thing that's consistent is my computer. And I have an Alienware computer, and it's a few $1,000s, and I'm not going to go buy a new computer to go fix this. So I said, what is the issue? And I discovered the issue. And this probably explains why it was fixing it with the Scarlett box sometimes. The issue is that I just have to unplug and re-plug in the power to the preamp. And in this case, it's just the direct connection to my computer. If I just unplug it and plug it back in, crystal clear. And I think what was happening is that when I would restart my computer, or I think even resetting the services with the Scarlett box, is the power would cycle on it. Or at least it would cycle if I restarted my computer because it was only getting power when the computer was on. So I think I finally got it. It means that I have to have access to go unplug and replug this thing back in every time I want to go record. But I spent an hour and a half this morning talking with my video editor, trying different things. Nothing was working. Restarting my computer, nothing. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. But I think it wasn't working because I have my mic plugged into a USB hub that gets power from not my computer. So it's always staying on. It was never having this opportunity to restart. So I think we got there. I think I spent all this money on this audio setup and I probably didn't need to. Hopefully it sounds real good though. And I just needed to unplug something and plug it back in. Typical Windows thing. I got to go call up good old Bill Gates and say, hey, let's change this. Okay. Anyway, hopefully that's solved for forever and I'll never get mad about that again. I feel like that's the biggest weight off of my back in my entire life, which means life is pretty good, I guess. If that's the biggest problem. So anyway, that's why I'm late on YouTube videos this week. I'm going to record a YouTube video right after this over my lunch break. And yeah, I went into work this week. I'm going to get some Rust training over the next few weeks, which is cool. I'm very excited about that. I really wanted to spend some time, but it's hard to carve out time. So that's an update there. Not a lot else I'll share about work at this point. A lot of stuff that we're doing is security focused just because of the nature of work I do. So I'm not going to share anything about that, but it's really cool because Microsoft has a lot of focus on security, and it feels good to be part of something like that because there's a lot of drive and push behind it. So it's really cool. I can imagine if you were on a team where, I don't know, if you're like, hey, it doesn't feel like people really care about our product or our space, it might be demotivating, but we know our stuff's very important. So it's really cool to be kind of pushing and leading that. So that's work. Content creation stuff. I've been having a real bad time with the blog post this week. This is actually the second time that I've done this video, by the way, because of the microphone setup. But I was saying in the first take of this that, I just feel real bad about the blog post, but I was trying to remind myself to be more kind to myself because there's a lot of other stuff going on. So blog posts take a lot of time. For me to make a video, it's the time that it takes to record it. And now that I have an editor, and I'll keep saying, not for these videos, maybe someday, but now that I have an editor, I can offload the editing. It's only the time to prep the material for the video and to talk through it. And ideally, I like to be in a position where I can just show you guys code I'm working on. Right now, I'm not. So, videos take less time than articles. And especially when someone else is editing them, so that's good. But I've just been swamped with other stuff. So the articles are falling behind. I want to get one out for tomorrow. I might even... No, that's pushing myself too hard. I'm going to try to publish it for tomorrow. So that's cool. Interviews, man, I got like 5 video interviews kind of scheduled already, which is awesome. And sorry, when I say already, I mean on top of, I've been trying to do 1 a week. I have 5 queued up right now. The lesson I learned, it's not helping the blog stuff, is I need to schedule them out a little further. I think I've been very eager, and people just like I've had 3 days this week where I've done 2 calls on the same day. So that's chewing up a lot of time, and I love it. It's really cool. I think it's exciting, and that's why I kind of lost a little bit of sight about the blog articles. So a lot of momentum there. I'm very happy about that, but I'm going to do a better job of scheduling. So that's one thing. I got to do a live stream yesterday, so yesterday morning. So that was about communication and language. And what else? So content-wise, that might be it for the content creation part. I think last time I was mentioning courses. I want to make sure, I want to touch base with Nick Chaps. Again, there's a course that I really want to make. It makes me scared and excited at the same time, so I want to get that verbal sign-off, but I'll touch base with him on that. And then the other thing I wanted to mention was like sponsorship. So a couple of things have come up where I think there's one sponsorship opportunity that's kind of what's a good way to phrase this? I feel like I put in the work to be able to demonstrate that I will be a good partner for this sponsor. And we'll see. They've agreed to it, but we don't have like the details, right? Like, what's the cadence? We talked a bit about a price, but like, what's the cadence? Like, could I just go, make 100 YouTube videos in a week and they'll just pay for all of them, or do they have like a budget that they want to work with? So I need to figure that out. But I'm very excited about that. Like I said, I put in some of the work already to help forge that relationship, and I've loved working with them, and I think that I hope they feel the same way, and that's why they want to pursue this. So again, I've said this before, when I go to look for sponsorships, I want it to be something that I'm happy with, and not just like, hey, it's a shoe company that's going to pay me to talk about stuff. Like, if I don't care about it, then I don't care about it. I don't want to talk about it. So this is cool. The second ones, which is also cool, this one is a lot more early stage, but they approached me. They said they think I would be a good fit. So we're going to start a little bit differently to kind of, and I think this is good. We'll kind of do some proving to see like kind of the working relationship. And that means from my own perspective, not from them, the pressure's on. I want to demonstrate like, hey, I am a good person to work with. I can help you. They have something I think is actually very interesting. So again, that was a checkbox for me. And then ultimately, like, I was on the call with this person, and they were saying like, hey, what is your goal? And I said, ultimately, it's like when I'm getting paid to help create content, I just take the money and I put it back into being able to make more content. The example that I want to give you, and I've said this on these vlogs, I was very transparent about going to approach it, and it's reality. Here's what happened. I hired a video editor to save me time. It costs me money. I lose money every time I make a video. I make my money through other means like course sales, for example, but I lose money on every single video. And if I wasn't selling courses or having some other type of income for this, I would be losing a lot of money. But I started paying for my videos to get edited, and that allowed me to triple my video output, because now I can live stream once a week, and now I can have a software engineering interview at least once a week. That tripled my video content. So I mean it when I say it, that when I'm trying to get income from things, I'm trying to reinvest it into my content creation. Long term, at some point, it would be nice to be able to have an income from this where it's like people see the value, they're happy to pay for it. That's super cool. That's exciting. But we're not there yet. And I have a lot more content to do, and I want to keep going. I want to do as much free content as I can, because I don't want to be in a position where I need to feel like I'm forcing people to buy stuff. I want to give you all the free information I have, and then I want people to be like, "Man, it's so cool to learn from you. I wish I could pay you to learn more." That would make me feel good, to not have to be a pushy salesperson. And I think that I have enough knowledge and experience to be able to help with that. So that's my goal. So we're getting there. It's taken time. It's been like 17 months now of doing this, right? And that's why I'm making these vlogs. I want to be able to look back or have people watch through these and be like, it doesn't happen overnight, but look, Nick just stayed with it, was consistent. Yeah, it was rough for a lot of it, but like, you stick around, you're consistent, and like, work towards your goals. There are no shortcuts. I don't think so. So anyway, that's cool. That's sponsorship stuff. I think that's it for the content creation. I'll wrap this one up pretty quick. I wanted to say for the side project stuff, we got some progress. So I can't remember what I said in the last video on this, but I have someone I'm onboarding to a version of the platform. They're excited to be part of it. They have a second business that they're going to try and onboard when it makes sense to do so. And they have some connections that they said, basically, if this works, here you go. Here's the connections. And I know a bunch of people that are interested in doing a similar thing. So that's cool. I think I did mention on the other call, like, I'm in a position where this is something I need. So I know that there's a use case for it. It's not about proving market. I think it would be silly to waste time doing it because I know it exists. But the really exciting part was that I was meeting with one of the team members yesterday, very good friend of mine, and I had said, like, I got in a little bit of a like tunnel vision, trying to solve some problems. So a category of problem I'm trying to solve, I tried like, I don't know, 5 different variations of trying to solve this problem. And I said, look, man, we were wrapping up our call and I said, look, for next steps, I said, I just need I know this is happening. If someone can unstick me on this, like, it's time to rock and roll. Like, it's time to push hard on this because it will be motivating. This is the one thing like pulling me back. And we stuck around on the call for like another half hour or so. And exactly as I suspected, just had tunnel vision. I just needed to bounce some ideas back and forth with this person, unstuck. And I said, okay, it's go time now. So that's super cool. I think by the time more people are watching this, like, I'm hoping people are like, oh, that's what he was talking about. So yeah, it's really exciting. I think that this is a really big opportunity, and so do the people working on it. And when I talk to people about this type of challenge, I know that it's a problem that they're facing. I think we need to execute, and I think we need to position our value, and we'll be good. Technology wise, like I said, I was worried. It was something that I knew was simple and I couldn't figure it out. And now that we got it, I'm like, okay, there's no other technical blockers. It's time to go. So wanted to share that because I'm excited. I'm not ready to announce it yet, but it will get announced because we got to sell it. So I think that's all for this week. Thank you so much for all of your support. Yeah, I think I got the mic stuff figured out forever now. So very happy. I will see you next week. Take care. Enjoy yourself.